Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 5th grade concept of rounding decimals, specifically how we can round decimals to specific place values, and we'll do it in 5 minutes or less. So we've got two different scenarios here. Let's take a look at the one on the left. We need to find a number. It's rounded to the nearest tenth, and when it is, it rounds to 49 7/10. The original number that gets rounded itself goes to the hundredths place and it's less than 49 7/10. All right, so let's build some place value charts here. So it goes to the hundredths. So I'm going to need to make it look like this. And I'm just going to write, I've got my ones, I've got my tens. Here I've got my tenths, right? So I'm just going to write my digits right there. I can go ahead and match over here. I can make this a 1. I can make this a 10 if that's going to be a little bit more helpful. So it needs to round to 49.7. Okay, so that's going to be my goal. So let's put that up here. That's my target. 49 7/10. But the original number goes to the hundredths, and it's less than that. Okay, so how can I get a number that is less than 49.7 to round up to, because that's what I'm going to need. I'm going to need it to round up to 49.7. Well, I think we can agree that the tens and the ones are going to be 4 and 9. It's going to be 49, but it needs to be less than that. So what is one less than that 7? Well, it's going to be 6. The problem is now I'm less than. I need it to round up. So let's look at it from a number line point of view. All right, so if these are my two boundary numbers, right, my tenths, 49.6, 49.7. If I'm just counting by tenths, there's nothing in between there. But I need to go ahead and count by hundredths, because that's the next smallest place value. And it becomes kind of easy to see if I can just make these each go to the hundredths place. 49.60, 49.70. I need to know what's in the middle. Well, what's in between 60 and 70? It's going to be 65. So we know that anything that's at the halfway point or above is going to round up. So if I were to get anything right here, like 49.60, 61, 62, 63, 64, it's not going to work. But if I were to get 49.65, that would round up to 49.7, and it is less than 49.7. If I were to get this right here, 49.66, 49.67, 49.68, and 49.69. If I were to get any of those numbers, now I can't do 49.7 because it needs to be less than 49.7. That would be equal to. So I can write any of these numbers, 49.65, 49.66, 49.67, 49 and 68 hundredths, and then 49 and 69 hundredths. All right, so there are 5 possible answers to that. Let's use that to kind of help us with this other side of the screen. A number is rounded to the nearest hundredth is 101 and 44 hundredths. The original number goes to the thousands. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit bigger. So let's make it go to the thousandths place. And I'll go ahead and just write the digits. That's 1, that's 10, that's 100, that's tenths, hundredths. Those are my thousandths. All right, so I need to round to this number. Once again, I got my target, 101, 44 hundredths. The original number is going to go to this thousandths place, and it's greater than 101 and 44 hundredths. Okay, so let's start with 101 and 44 hundredths. If I put a 0 there, that's not going to work because that would be equal to. It needs to be greater. And you see here that the change is going to be in the thousandths place. In order for this 4 to stay the same, this thousandths needs to be a digit, but it needs to be a smaller digit, right? So I can make it a 1, I can make it a 2, I can make it a 3, or I can make it a 4. Once this thousandths place gets up to a 5, it would change that hundredths place from a 4 up to a 5, and I don't need that. So my possible answers are right here.